Oscar Wilde's most famous play, The Importance of Being Earnest, is an absolute masterclass in wit. But, it's often dismissed as just this light, fluffy comedy. Well, today, we're going to pull back that curtain and unmask this masterpiece, because its sparkling surface is hiding a surprisingly deep and rebellious heart. So how do we even begin to get inside Wilde's genius?
We start right here. This quote, "This is the key that unlocks the entire play." Wilde built his whole world on paradox, on this incredible idea that the best way to tell the truth is with a perfectly crafted lie. And the best way to handle the really serious stuff? Well, you do it with brilliant, wonderful triviality. To really get the play, you have to first get the man who wrote it. And Oscar Wilde wasn't just a writer. He was a performance all on his own, a true artist of masks.
Just look at this timeline. It shows this incredible, dramatic arc of his life. He was born into the smart family in Dublin, and he just skyrockets to the absolute peak of fame, celebrated as the wittiest man in London. But look at 1895. In the exact same year his greatest comedy hits the stage, his life just spectacularly implodes. It leads to his imprisonment for gross indecency, and ultimately a really tragic end in exile.
And this is the most crucial thing to understand. This theme of duality. Wilde lived a double life. He was this celebrated public figure, but also a private man with secrets. And that tension, that pull between appearance and reality, between the mask and the face underneath, that wasn't just a part of his life. It became the very engine of his art. For Wilde, the line between life and art was totally blurred. His own experience of living a double life became the central theme of his work.
So how does this all play out on stage? Well, the first big clue to the play's depth is hiding in plain sight, right there in the subtitle. Believe it or not, Wilde actually changed the subtitle. He went from a serious comedy for trivial people to a trivial comedy for serious people. Now, this isn't just him playing with words. He's telling us something really profound. The play seems trivial, right? It's full of cucumber sandwiches and silly arguments. But he's saying only a truly serious person, someone who can see beyond that surface, is going to get the real joke. And that joke? It's aimed squarely at the Victorian obsession with earnestness. This was the ultimate virtue back then, being serious, sincere, morally upright. But Wilde saw it for what it often was, just this stuffy, rigid performance that was hiding all kinds of hypocrisy. It was the ultimate social mask.
And this philosophy is how he fought back. Wilde just decided to flip the whole system on its head. In his play, arguments about muffins are treated with life-or-death gravity, while huge things like marriage and morality are treated like absurd little games. It's this incredible inversion that makes the comedy so razor-sharp. He elevates the trivial and trivializes the serious, and in doing so, he exposes all of society's hypocrisy.
But Wilde's rebellion wasn't just about making fun of society. It was also about imagining new ways to be free. And he does this so beautifully through one of the play's most fascinating characters, Cecily Cardew. This line is just perfect. So when a character, Algernon, shows up pretending to be someone else to try and win her over, Cecily basically tells him that she has already invented their entire romance, complete with a broken engagement and a tearful reconciliation, all inside her diary. She's not some passive character just waiting for a man. She is the author of her own love story.
So her diary isn't just a girlish fantasy. It's a revolutionary act. I mean, think about it. In an age where women were supposed to be all passive and proper, Cecily uses her imagination to seize control. She literally writes her own reality into existence, creating a world where her desires, not society's rules, come first. Through Cecily, Wilde is really championing imagination as a form of liberation, especially for women who are trapped by those rigid Victorian conventions.
Now, this rebellious spirit, it isn't just in one character. Oh no, it extends to the entire play, which is basically a systematic and hilarious takedown of the pillars of Victorian society.
Wilde takes aim at everything. He mocks the need for a double life with the brilliant invention of Bunbury, this fake invalid that lets characters escape boring social duties. He exposes marriage as what it often was, a business transaction, all about income and property. And he shows how ridiculously strict manners had completely replaced any real sense of morality.
And there is no better example of this than Lady Bracknell's iconic line, "A handbag?" When she finds out the main character, Jack, was discovered as a baby in a handbag, her shock isn't about his well-being, it's about the social disgrace of where he came from. A simple, trivial object becomes the basis for this profound moral judgment. It's totally absurd. And that is precisely Wilde's point. The play uses this farce to perform a brilliant social critique, showing how Victorian society's obsession with appearances had replaced real morality.
But all of this social satire, as brilliant as it is, still feels like the surface. Now we get to the play's deepest, most personal, and honestly, its most dangerous layer.
What if Bunburying, this whole act of leading a secret life to escape the rigid rules of society, wasn't just about dodging dinner parties? What if it was about something far more fundamental to Wilde's own life?
To understand this, we need to talk about the idea of the open secret. It refers to something that's visible to everyone, that's known by everyone, but is never, ever spoken aloud. For Wilde, who was living in an era where being gay wasn't just condemned but was actually illegal, this was his daily reality. The need to communicate in code, to live behind a mask, it was a matter of survival.
And when you look at the play through this lens, the entire thing just transforms. Suddenly, the double identities of Jack and Algernon reflect the real-life need to hide your true self in a society that criminalized same-sex love. The witty banter becomes a coded language, a way to talk about forbidden things without saying them out loud. And the terrifying Lady Bracknell? She becomes the ultimate enforcer of social normality, demanding that everyone conform. The powerful subtext here is that the entire play mirrors the dangerous reality of being queer in a hostile world.
So when you put all of these pieces together, you see that this play is so much more than a comedy, it's more than satire, and it's more than a secret code. It's really a manifesto for Wilde's entire philosophy of life and art.
And this is the play's final brilliant punchline. After an entire play spent lying and creating false identities, Jack discovers his real name actually is Ernest. The lie has accidentally become the truth. The joke becomes this profound revelation.
And right here is the ultimate takeaway. For Wilde, being truly earnest has nothing to do with following society's dull, hypocritical rules. No, it's about creating your own identity, about using art and style, the artifice, as a tool for living more truthfully and more beautifully. The mask isn't just for hiding, it's for creating. In the end, Wilde's ultimate argument is that artifice isn't the opposite of truth. It is the path to finding a deeper, more personal truth.
And that really leaves us with a final thought. Wilde's masterpiece challenges all of us to ask ourselves, in a world that is constantly demanding that we conform, when can the masks we choose to wear actually reveal more about who we truly are than the faces we're told we have to show?